Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John, coming to you to talk to you a little bit more today about what you saw in my special report yesterday. I got so aggravated over the fact that the vice president would come out of the vice presidential residence at the Naval Observatory, come through a door and spew all kinds of lies and hatred toward Donald Trump. Where this desperation is taking her is not a good place. And I'm trying hard to realize why she wants to do this, but I can see right now through the past week and her interviews on CNN and around where you do never get an answer from anything straightforward from this woman. And now today, it's all kinds of plagiarism is coming out, not only on some of her past cases that she's copied and pasted speeches from, and even took a case from some other state and made it sound like that she prosecuted it in San Francisco, which never happened. And then we have the whole book deal where she has made up the entire scenario in that book, including the grandmother that is not her grandmother, and so on and so on. All you have to do is listen to YouTube and go through some channels and see what they are saying and the proof behind what they're saying. But anyway, just take a brief look here.
Yesterday,
he commented more than once that, that Hitler did some good things too.
Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired four-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had.
why isn't this working?
And there it is. Why would someone wait 6 years to come through and bring out this pure drivel of nonsense that Kelly is now spreading? Or did he, or yeah, I guess he did, and then she carries it like a pail of water to throw onto Donald Trump? Well, it's not working, folks, and the desperation, the sheer desperation on the Harris-Walz campaign is showing now, and it is frightening. And what they will pull next, we don't know, and I just can't wait to see. But it's not working out good for them. It's an election year, and probably one of the most confusing election years that I've ever seen in my life, where you have a sitting vice president that was in charge of a border telling you that she has a plan to close the border or build more walls or whatever she is dancing around. She has no intention of changing any of the plans that she has already ignored. And now we have over 20 million people in this country that we are taking care of on welfare, hotel rooms, credit cards, and now she wants to give more money away. There's more of the same in this election, if she should win, than Biden ever thought of going that far with.
That stinks.
This is a woman who has no accomplishments, no votes to be there, and now the ugliness is showing out of every time she opens her mouth and tries to answer a question which she cannot and is not capable of giving you a straight answer on any part of any question on policy and what are you going to do to implement this policy.
Aha! Got him!
It's plain. It's simple. You saw it for 3 3/4 years. There's no way to defend the fact that she has done nothing as the vice president of this United States. And now we're wondering if she really ever did anything as a DA or as an attorney general of the state of California. Where is the records of this? Show me some closing arguments where you've had a closing argument that actually worked. In any case, pick one, show us one, and I would be happy to entertain the fact that you might have accomplished something other than being failed up and promoted all through California, and now you walked into a presidential spot because you talk about democracy. You literally overthrew the president that's sitting. It's not believable any longer, Miss Harris. And your running mate, Tim Walz, is a running, chest-thumping lunatic.
Dumbass.
Who makes no sense at all. Look at his accomplishments. There's quite a few that are being kept under the table for you not to see, as is her past records being kept under the table for you to see. And even Biden is out there trying to submarine her candidacy. And now you have Barack Obama out with a person like Eminem to try and salvage this mess. How about you second thought when you stuck the knife in Joe's back that you should have gotten someone else to put in that place with the wherewithal to look presidential, act presidential, and answer a question forthright without word salad, and then maybe the Democratic machine could have salvaged this. It's unbelievable, but it's there. It's ever present. And it's Thursday afternoon with a scant 12 to 13 days before the election is settled, and we'll know which direction this country is going to go, down or up. We need to bring back the country we grew up in and stop being gaslighted by these Democratic politicians that just have one goal in their mind, and that is to stay in power, enrich their bank accounts, and destroy this republic and change the laws to benefit a woke society that garners no industry or imagination. Look at Hollywood. You want to believe the people from Hollywood that tell you to go vote for Kamala Harris? They've destroyed Hollywood. It's not what it used to be. And if it wasn't for CGI, you'd have no movies coming out. And if it wasn't for movies that real people put together and did a good job with, so these dummies can remake it and miscast the characters in it, that's what Hollywood has become. And you want to take advice from people, actors and actresses and songstresses and songwriters that can't even do that correctly anymore. You don't take advice from people who make a living playing other people. Not political advice anyway. And these elites in Hollywood that are rich, they don't care what a loaf of bread costs the average family that's trying to raise children and maybe working 2 and in some cases 3 jobs. They don't care because they are independently wealthy and elites. Ooh. This is what the Democratic Party has attached their wagon to, the elites of Hollywood, the elites of politics, the elite families in politics, such as the Clintons, the Bushes. They have never brought the middle class in this country any ease of mind or an opportunity to advance and live a comfortable life. They've done none of this. So if they're out telling you now that they're worried about the middle class, they want the middle class destroyed. They want to make this like Brazil, where you have ultra-rich and ultra-poor and nothing in between. And this is the Democratic Party today, and you better wise up and understand that.
I mean, you did raise your hand saying in a debate when asked if border crossing should be decriminalized, but obviously that is not your position.
I never intended, nor will I ever allow America to have a border that is not secure.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Stop fucking lying.
So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because
it means you're too dumb.
Thank you, Eric, and you're absolutely right. You know it, I know it, I think most Americans know it. Price of groceries is still too high.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I am not for a wall. They're not jumping over walls.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
In my role as vice president, I mean, I probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues and Cheney, former Congress member who was a very high-ranking Republican, she has endorsed me. Her father, the former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney, is voting for me.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Republicans would take another hour of Kamala Harris. We'd just press play, let her keep going. We'd pay for another hour to let her keep not answering the questions.
But what she will do, the question about her legislative priorities, name one. There wasn't one.
Listen to the people around you and what their thoughts are. Listen to the people in the barber shops. Listen to the people that are struggling to have to go to a Dollar General to feed their family, and the foods that they're buying are poison. Because the cheaper the food, the more additives and the more taste good factors that are pushed into it are killing you. Listen to RFK Jr. He says in your foods today, processed foods, there's 70-some different poisons used in the making of that food, which, by the way, as he says, they are all banned in Europe. You can't put it in your foods in Europe, but yet they're allowing it here in the United States. This is your Democratic Party at work. Because the big food industry is got lobbyists, and they are buying the votes they need to do whatever they want, and they don't care that they're poisoning you, poisoning your children, causing all kinds of maladies that we should not be seeing in our children and in ourselves as a direct result of bad foods being pushed down our throats on the TV, in the ads, and in the supermarkets. And their answer to this is price gouging. It's not price gouging. It's the economy, stupid. This is what you have to look at. Were you better off before this Biden administration? And the answer is, even with COVID, yes, you were. Don't forget your job losses, your lockdowns, the fact that you couldn't visit your grandmother in a nursing home were a direct result of this administration's lockdowns and the dedicated push to mandate different things to you, such as masks, such as gatherings, and so on and so on. You all remember this. This should be fresh in your memory. And yet they want 4 more years to do more of these mandates, like the electric car mandates that is putting Detroit out of business. And then where do we go from there? We buy Chinese goods coming out of Mexico? No, we should not have to be doing that. And the fentanyl pouring through this border is a direct result of the Biden-Harris open, wide border that they have allowed for the 4 years of their term in office. Hands down, there is no excuse, and there's no blaming Donald Trump for this. And there's no blaming anybody but this administration and the clown car of a cabinet that they put together to fool us one more time, but it's not working anymore because Americans are waking up to the fact that this has happened. We've watched it happen, and the mainstream media, cry as they might to get her elected, is not working any longer because we're on to the mainstream media lie fest that have been bought and paid for by the Democratic machine. And there's no questioning it because it is there, it is plain, and it is simple to see. It's like the softball questions when they do interview her, and she cannot even answer that. What kind of a president is going to sit down with Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-il and be able to negotiate anything when she is given the questions and the answers are rehearsed, even then cannot answer those questions? How is she going to do with these other world leaders? That is extremely worrisome to me, and it should be to you. And if it isn't, you're a Harris voter, and I'm not going to change your mind because you have been, I don't know what would make you that way. We have one chance and one chance alone. Get out and early vote, get your vote in, and do not vote for a continuation of what we have seen for the last 4 years. Because I guarantee you that it's more of the same if she gets elected. There's not going to be any changes other than a change for the worse. Because she is further left than Bernie Sanders ever thought of being. And if it's not clear and present to you, listening to her and listening to that maniacal laugh that she has, which covers up her nervousness and nothing more, it's a distraction She's a distraction. And she's in a spot right now that she had not earned. So there it is. There's the Thursday morning rant. And I apologize to you all for that. But early voting is important this year more than ever. And I've never early voted until this year, and I have. And I hope you all will too, because God only knows what they're going to throw at us on Election Day, or Mother Nature throws at us on Election Day. So get out, vote early if you can, and if you're going to wait until Election Day, get out early, just in case the lines are so long that you have a long wait. Do not give up. If you know somebody that hasn't voted or has no intention of voting, please talk to them and give them a ride if necessary to a polling station and get them to vote. The fact that we're going to have illegals in this country sneaking into poll stations to vote is horrendous, but they say it's happening. We'll see. Keep an eye out. If you can get a poll watcher's position in your community, go do it.
Pray!
We cannot have 20 million illegals in this country, some of with very bad intent, going to the poll stations and voting because they're afraid that if Donald Trump gets elected, he will follow the law like she says that she wants to do, and get these criminal types, number one, these gang members from Venezuela need to be deported or pushed back into Mexico and rounded up out of this country. They're killing our citizens. They're an ugly bunch of people, these gang members, that have no qualms about taking your life or anyone else's life. This is what their gang does. And you want them voting? The Democrats do. There's a reason this border was thrown wide open the day that Joe Biden signed the executive orders. And it was about Democratic votes. There's no question in my mind about it, and there shouldn't be one in yours. And anyone who believes that Joe Biden got 81 million votes anywhere without cheating is delusional. We'll see what happens this time. But I have to tell you, I am somewhat nervous about what they're going to pull either on day of election or just before it. And it was showed yesterday with her coming out with this Kelly nonsense that they want you to believe is true. And we all know better because we know we watched 4 years of his presidency. And by the way, he accomplished things through that presidency, although he was thwarted all the way from the day he came down the escalator. When he was elected, they started impeachment proceedings before he ever took the oath of office. And yet he managed to accomplish things that were good for this country, all along while being impeached a couple of times and having the media turn against him almost immediately.
It's so corrupt.
Do you not see this? People, I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they've had the wool pulled over their eyes and they have been gaslighted to a all-time best gaslighting job ever performed by any administration. There were lie after lie. They still continue to lie. You have a White House press secretary, Sideshow Bob over there, that she comes out with her sideshow hair and tells you lie after lie. And when she's questioned by the press, she gets angry, closes her book, and walks away because there are no answers to those lies. There is a massive cover-up about the dementia problems that Joe Biden suffered from. The bad decisions. Just his actions alone should have indicated to somebody there was a problem there, and the person closest to him for all of that time was Kamala Harris. So come on, don't tell me that Joe's a dynamo and runs rings around everybody, and he's so smart. He was never smart as a senator, never mind a vice president. And then he gets into power and shows you exactly what he was capable of, which was the destruction of our republic. Plain and simple. So anyway, it's Thursday. We're here in East Tennessee in some beautiful weather. Fall colors are coming out now nicely. The reds, the golds, it's beautiful. And I hope to maybe go out and get a little picnic one day this weekend, possibly even tomorrow, because I think that's one of the warmest days here. And I'm looking forward to getting out to show some fall foliage. The Blue Ridge Parkway is, in my estimation, still closed in several major sections. So usually I go up there in the fall, but because of this hurricane destruction that we've encountered in this area, it's going to be a little harder this year. But there is Southwest Virginia, so we may take a little ride this weekend and shoot some film somewhere that is pretty and relaxing and beneficial to our mental health, because if you're turning on news channels, it'll make you sick just to listen to it. You know, Morning Jerk and his wife at it again this morning. It's unbelievable the nonsense that they will spread and the lies that they come out on and every day. There's more and more vitriol that pours out of that MSNBC channel. It's unbelievable. CNBC is some of the same, but a little less. CNN, oh my God, they've lost their minds over the McDonald visit. And I'm not entirely sure that this health scare on the quarter pounder wasn't designed. I put nothing past this administration to pull like that. But anyway, we'll run you another tape here before too long of some memes that I find amusing. So with that, take a look. Now, didn't you find that funny? Because I did, and I'm sure that the rest of the left side will be shocked by that. But here at the Kaiser Report, we tell it like we see it. And we're going to say, have a great rest of this Thursday. God bless you. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a share, and we'll see you all back here on the Kaiser Report tomorrow morning, Friday. If anything should break today, we'll give you a special report like we did yesterday, and we'll keep you tuned in to what the correct news is. Anyway, have a great Thursday, and stay strong, stay safe, and stay tuned into the Kaiser Report. So with that, bye-bye now, and God bless.